Checking out a cool coffee table from EP Lamp today, which has a touch-sensitive surface filled with these hexagon-like LED lights. And so the surface is reactive. As we place other objects on top of it, you can tell that the corresponding hexagons will light up, creating a really cool profile and just making it seem a little bit more modern compared to the conventional coffee tables. Now, the size here measures roughly 20 inches in terms of length and width because it's a perfect circle, and the height is also 20 inches. So it's not super tall, but works well enough as just a regular coffee table by the side of a sofa or even as a bedside table. And again, any objects that you place on top will usually work, including plastic from water bottles, as long as it's heavy enough. I have found that if something is too light, like a pencil or just a single sheet of paper, it may not react, but anything that has a little bit more weight, it will usually kind of flick onto life, including if you're touching it with your hands. Does look really cool in the dark, I have to admit, and kind of illuminates the object a little bit better as well, and it just reacts whenever, again, you're placing it onto different tiles, onto the table, just making a very cool conversation starter decor piece. Let's also try placing something like a book, and again, as long as it has a bit of force, it will also illuminate. There is a 2000 milliamp hour capacity battery inside of the table, which is rechargeable using a standard USB Type-C port located underneath over here. So you can just use your phone charger and plug it into the wall to juice it back up. It can be used detached for around 10 hours or so with the lights on. However, you can also plug it in 24/7 if you're just using it persistently in a living room. And there is a power switch as well for turning the lights on and off. Which, speaking of, interestingly, whenever you flick it on and off again, it seems like the pressure sensitivity resets. So you have to lift and put the objects back down again for it to illuminate. And the table itself is relatively slim. It just crafted out of tempered glass on the front. The legs themselves are crafted out of aluminum alloy, feel pretty sturdy, with a copper-like design towards the bottom, along with a plastic end piece that prevents the table from sliding around. Now, some nice-to-have features you could consider maybe in a next-gen model would be allowing you to change the color of the hexagon tiles. So right now it is only blue, there are no RGB lights underneath. Also, since this already has a built-in battery, maybe if they have a USB port to charge your phone, or maybe even built-in Qi wireless charging or MagSafe could be interesting to consider because it is a higher-tech coffee table anyways. It comes pretty much 98% fully assembled, so it's just in this cardboard box, and you just have to screw in the 3 legs using the included screws, kind of like IKEA furniture in that sense. Now, one other point I'll mention is the touch-sensitive tiles technically kind of stop in this inner parameter. The hexagons, which are kind of cut off at the corners, don't really illuminate further as you're touching them. So to better explain that fact, we can again slide the water bottle around to determine that this is kind of the area in the middle there that is touch sensitive.